When the sun is at an elevation of 30 degrees, a building casts a 100-foot shadow. How tall is the building? So we have the sunshine, which maybe is right up here. And that is casting a shadow of 30 degrees with a building. And let's put the building maybe right here. So that is going to cast a shadow, and that shadow is right here. Now we also know that that shadow is 100 feet long, so we can label that as 100. We know that the angle that the sun is making, it's pretty low in the sky, is 30 degrees. And the question is asking for the height of the building. Well, the height of the building here we can call h. And now what you see is we have a right triangle. So focusing on this right triangle here, we have an angle of 30, and we have two things, the side opposite and the side adjacent. So if you go to decide whether to use the sine, cosine, or tangent, when you have the opposite and the adjacent side, the right one to go with is tangent. So we know that the tangent of 30 degrees will be the length of the opposite side, which is h, divided by 100. We want to solve this equation for h. To do so, you multiply both sides of the equation by 100. When you multiply the left-hand side by 100, you get 100 times the tangent of 30 degrees. When you multiply the right-hand side by 100, you get h. So the goal now is to figure out what is the value of 100 times the tangent of 30 degrees. You know that the tangent function is the same as the sine divided by the cosine. And 30 degrees, fortunately, is an angle we are familiar with on the winding function. It appears about right here. And the coordinates of that point are the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. So let's label that. That point has coordinates the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. Furthermore, we know that this first coordinate is the cosine and the second coordinate is the sine of 30 degrees. So we can rewrite this as 100 multiplied by the sine, and the sine is the second coordinate, so that is where your 1/2 goes, divided by the cosine of 30, and that cosine is the square root of 3 over 2. So the value h here is 100 divided by the square root of 3, and the reason it is 100 divided by the square root of 3 is because the 2's in the numerator and the denominator cancel. So if you plug this into your calculator to calculate 100 divided by the square root of 3, at least to 3 decimal points, you get 57.7 feet. So 57.7 feet is the height of this building.